Spirit can be a lot of things, as noted in the introduction. Spirit can refer to the human soul, the energy of the land, the unknown or unseen, gods, and so much more. However, when we look at the word spirit in relation to the word ether, we can more easily follow the trail from ancient Western magical traditions to the practices of modern witches. Although the concepts of ghosts as spirits, the soul as a spirit, and the energy of ethereal beings that we might call spirit will come up in the chapters of this book, the goal here is to focus on spirit as an element. In these sections, we will address how spirit shows up as an element and explore some of the practices and traditions connected to modern witchcraft through the lens of that element. Quintessence. A specific group of ancient peoples, whom we now refer to as medieval scientists, but who could also easily be called witches, alchemists, philosophers, or doctors, referred to spirit as ether or quintessence. These were their terms for the material that exists beyond the Earth. We might interpret this as relating to space or the solar system or even the larger universe, yet it is simultaneously much smaller than that. Ether pertains to concepts not fully understood by medieval scientists, that which we now have names for, such as gravity, light, particles, cells, and sound waves. Magic has always been connected to what is unexplainable. Concepts that were once viewed as magic or quintessence in the past have since been given names, descriptions, and explanations by modern science. However, just because something has a name and a definition doesn't change the fact that it is magical and mysterious. We might understand gravity as a scientific principle, but most of us don't grok the full depth of what gravity means and what it does. We get it because we experience it, but many of us don't understand the mathematics and science of how it works. And the good news is, we don't need to. As with magic, we don't need to understand how gravity, light, or sound work to know that these things exist. But science is only one part of how we look at the concept of spirit. We can also see the impact of spirit in the realms of sociology, philosophy, and history. Ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, sometime between 750 and 650 BCE, ether was viewed as the very air that the gods breathed, meaning it was charmed and full of mystery, literally the gods' breath, which is quite a magical idea. Anything we humans didn't yet understand or have language for would fall into the category of the gods' breath. The famous Greek writer Homer described ether as pure, fresh air, and clear sky. In the 4th century BCE, Plato wrote about the classical elemental system and the 4 elements of air, fire, water, and earth, but he also wrote of ether as the most translucent of the elements.